Goodbye to RuneScape Classic, it was good to me. Finished every quest it had, easy as 1, 2, 3. 22 full years of questing to make some deaths forevermore. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2004. Welcome back to June 2nd, 2004. And a very important woodcutting level. Level 80. Milestone. Achievement. And plenty of unlocks. We get a quest requirement, the Imcando Hatchet, Ant Gallow Trees, Gorgonite Hatchets, Tree Shaken Scrimshaws, Taradad Overgrown Crystal Trees, Sena's Fire Torch, create Sentinel Outfit Pieces, and, most importantly, Magic Trees. Used to be level 75, but now they're level 80. Now we can chop them anyways, so that's good. This was a consideration of where to stop doing woodcutting, but there is more good reasons to keep going. Mostly down to fletching, and some plans I have on that front. We also do have all these feathers, so we'll see how much fletching experience we could get making a bunch of darts or something, but this gives fletching experience and a bunch of money, so I'm just gonna stay here while I still have the axe. 72 fletching. That is nothing. 81 woodcutting. That is overgrown idols. Interesting. Don't exist. 73 fletching. That is onyx-tipped rune bolts and corpse thorn traps in Damonheim. Not even close. Not even close. Now that was quite the woodcutting and fletching session. My goodness. Just going to withdraw the 464,000 coins that I got here. Bringing the cash stack up to 3,147,000. My goodness. We actually do have a maximum amount of coins that we're going to be able to have. And we are actually getting a bit closer to that than I would prefer. Worst case scenario, we just go buy some things, I guess. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But that's not going to be a problem for at least a little bit more here. In the meantime, we will continue moving forward here. On June 7th, 2004, there was a new highest number of players playing concurrently of 30,000. And so the worlds were getting a bit full. So 2 new members' worlds were opened up. There's not a huge amount of worlds yet, so 2 more is still pretty nice, all things considered. There's a lot of situations where having tons of competition is not ideal. So, more worlds, in more places, it's a good time. On June 8th, 2004, agility was improved. The restoration bonus that you get over the base run energy per agility level, the extra that you get back was increased by 50%. So it's more noticeable that you get more benefit from your agility level. The current regeneration rates are much, much higher than they would have been. So we are not worrying too much about that. Sometimes we still run out of run energy, but it takes a while. And it comes back acceptably. So that's fine for us. And a few bugs were also fixed. If there were too many people fishing at the same fishing spot, the fishing spot would disappear. So stopping everyone from fishing, not ideal. Especially with the worlds were so much more crowded by how they found that was happening. If you tried to do smithing and chat at the same time, it wouldn't work for some reason. And for some cutscenes, the camera angles were wrong. Not the correct height as they were supposed to be. You get some cutscenes of staring at the ground or over top of the buildings or something. Not very helpful. There's a few cutscenes that are a little bit out of date, even nowadays. Could also use a sprucing up like that. That's okay. We also make our own cutscenes, so we can decide when those are correct. We have fun here. On June 14th, 2004, the player moderators became a thing. Hand-picked players, helping to keep the game a fun and safe environment for everyone. They get priority abuse reports. They can mute people. And this is also the introduction of silver and gold crowns next to mods' names in chat. Silver for player mods, and gold for Jagex mods. So you can see when a mod is chatting here. There's also a new bug report section for the customer support menu, where you can see lists of known bugs, select what kind of bug you're having, give all the info needed, like how to reproduce the bug. Nowadays it's right over here in the game here, and not in the customer support section of the website or anything. Well, that's good. And a few new things added. Multiple people can now steal from thieving stalls again at the same time. Before this change, it had been changed that only one person got the things. So this will also help a little bit with the overcrowding for some spots. 2 new monsters somewhere now drop clue scrolls. Very mysterious. Strange fruit from random events now restores more run. And, most interestingly, special attacks. Powerful and interesting special abilities for a variety of weapons. Specifically, the Dragon Dagger, Dragon Mace, Dragon Longsword, Dragon Battle Axe, Dragon Spear, Excalibur, Rune Throwing Axes, Magic Shortbows, and Magic Longbows. We currently have none of these things. We could technically go and buy some Rune Throwing Axes, which this really does confirm that throwing axes absolutely do exist, as much as they are not helpful whatsoever for us. If we had our Dragon Longsword still, we could activate the special attack, have a good time. Could always go reclaim Excalibur, but not super helpful right now. Some interesting ideas though. Special attacks. Eventually, with the evolution of combat, special attacks were removed entirely. And then they came back. So, there you go. I'm sure we will do a special attack at some point here. But not right now. On June 16th, 2004, the login servers were down for 2 hours because the hosting provider accidentally rebooted the servers. And the servers were not prepared to be rebooted right then. So the last 15 minutes of progress for everyone that was online was lost. Just because of how the files are all saved and everything. So, a little bit annoying, but only 15 minutes, only 2 hours. Worse times will happen. That's for sure. On June 17th, 2004, there were some fake emails going around claiming that you could get player moderator status, but that's not a thing. They're not going to get an email about that. It's all going to be in the player message center. And you can't ask for a player mod or anything. If you get the message, there you go. Elsewise, no. Just the latest in fake emails to trick people. Mostly into just giving them your password. Generally, just don't. On June 21st, 2004, Ceredomin Godletters 21. Getting quite a few of the Godletters at this point. Interesting to see when this switches over to Postbag from the Hedge. But more interesting lore and such. And also a few tweaks. Some of which were around the UI, had a smaller game border around the edges, and a brighter chat box, so you could see more of the world, or just have it fit better on low resolution monitors. Chat would be easier to see. All sorts of good stuff like that. And also, a little white outline around things when you have the use option. Very helpful to know what you actually just clicked on. And then for interactions where you use something on another thing, it now works either way. So it's not very, very specific what order you need to do things in. Just a little bit of quality of life. On June 23rd, 2004, got an updated Windows client. Has all the same features as the browser client, but without all the browser clutter. So it's good for low memory and low resolution machines. Just another option. Nothing super crazy or anything. Still very much available in a web browser. At least for a while. On June 25th, 2004, the player count is continuing upwards, this time peaking at 36,000 players concurrently. And so, even more new worlds. 2 more free worlds, and 1 more members world. There still is lots of free-to-play players too, so that is noteworthy. These days there's really not as many free-to-play. That's okay. Still exists though. Still exists. On June 28th, 2004, the friends list was doubled in size for members, so you now have 200 friends. Hit splats on monsters when they're getting hit by multiple attacks at the same time now shows multiple hit splats at the same time. And presumably also hit splats on you if you're in multi-combat taking a bunch of damage. So you can see more accurately how much damage is getting dished out, instead of them being hidden behind other splats. And also for combat, NPCs will now retreat if you attack them from beyond their wander range with, say, magic or range attacks. Previously, they would just kind of sit there on the edge, not doing anything. So this makes it a little more difficult to safe spot some things. But there's still definitely safe spots available, so not a huge problem. Music and sounds now work with the Sun Java Pro plugin. So, not quite everyone has the sounds working just yet, but they're working on it. Nice to have. And the Dragon Spear special attack that was recently added now skulls people if you use it in PvP. Ah, the Dragon Spear special attack. PvP. What a mess. What a mess. And lastly, for us today at least, on June 29th, 2004, we get some bank improvements. You can now insert items in between things and it'll push things over. This is an addition to the previously only option of swap mode. Doesn't work in inventory, so I can't actually show it because I don't have a bank. That's okay. Moves all your items down to make space for the new one. You can also scroll the bank page up and down as you move your items. You can move them further without having to constantly cycle through the pages slowly. So that's nice. Of course, we don't use the bank at all, so that's unimportant to us. But what is important is the next quest. We get Priest in Peril. Gonna go to Varrock Palace, have a great time. Do a little bit of combat, and we need a bucket and some essence. Unnoted. Luckily, even though we need 50 or 25, which would have been 50, I mean, technically it would have only just been 50 rune essence at the start here, since pure essence doesn't exist at all. But once pure essence exists, it is also 50 pure essence, and then later changed to 25 pure essence. But all these need to be unnoted, and it's too many to fit in your inventory at all. So luckily we can turn these in during the quest in partial sets. So we're just going to need to go get a pickaxe to mine the rune essence, which is going to be pure essence. So we're going to need a bucket and a pickaxe. And head over to Varrock. Since we have the space, I'm just going to get the essence at the start here and see if the bronze pickaxe is good enough. Definitely looks like it is. We're getting in one swing, getting 4 essence each time. Yeah, looks good to me. So for future rune crafting training, if we are still mining the essence, we'll be able to get away with just getting a bronze pickaxe. That's convenient. Also got some runes for Varrock teleports, which is going to be nice. Very handy during this quest. I think we're going to need at least a few spaces here. Drop 1 pure essence. That might be enough. We'll see. Either way, we need to head to Varrock Palace here and talk to the king. Not click on this fancy circle on the ground. That doesn't exist yet. Just head on in here and talk to the king. Apparently he's over in here. Hello. Greet the king. Greetings, your majesty. Well, ho there. What do you want? I'm looking for a quest. Because of course I am. A quest, you say? What an odd request to make of the king. It's funny you should mention it, though, as there is something you can do for me. Are you aware of the temple east of here? It stands on the river Salve and guards the entrance to the lands of Mauritania. No, I don't think I know it. How strange that you don't. Well, anyway, it has been some days since I last heard from Drezel, the priest who lives there. Be a sport, and go make sure that nothing untoward has happened to the silly old codger for me, would you? Accept quest. Priest in Peril. Sure, I don't have anything better to do right now. Many thanks, adventurer. I would have sent one of my squires, but they wanted payment for it. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. And we would not be aware of the temple because it doesn't exist yet, or didn't exist before today. The temple on the river south, blocking off the way to Mauritania. Noteworthy. Noteworthy for sure. So we just need to head to the east, like he said. Not too much out to the east currently. Got this little strip of forest here, the lumber mill over there, and the dig site. But now we have a new path right here, which leads to a gate. Because this area over on this side is members only. Over here, we just have a completely empty valley with nothing happening to the south or the north. Not 4 different quests and a mine and all that. We're not going to worry about the beacon there, or a monk that doesn't exist out here yet. Would make sense to talk to that monk, since we are looking for a monk over here. But they're not here yet. And they're going to be a problem in the future. But for right now, we're just going to enter the temple. I'm going to open the door. The door is securely locked from inside. I'm going to knock at the door. Knock, knock. You knock at the door, you hear a voice from inside. Who are you and what do you want? Roll sent me to check on Drezel. Psst, hey, who's rolled? Who's Drezel? Isn't Drezel that priest upstairs? Oh wait, Roll is the king of Varrock, right? He is? Hey, you deal with this, alright? He's just coming, wait a second. Hello, my name is Drevel. Drezel. I mean Drezel. How can I help? Well, as I said, the king sent me to check you're alright. And, what would you do if I wasn't alright? I'm not sure. Ask you what help you need, I suppose. Ah, good. Well, I don't think... Psst, hey, the dog. Oh, yes, of course. Will you do me a favor, bold adventurer? Yes. Sure, I'm a helpful person. Haha, really? Thanks, buddy. You see that mausoleum to the north? There's a horrible big dog underneath it that I'd like you to kill for me. It's been really bugging me. Barking all the time and stuff. Please, kill it for me, buddy. As you wish. One dead dog coming up. Woohoo! Mausoleum to the north. Let's go. We got a dog to slay. Here is Cerberus. Like a big, ugly dog. I mean, looks like a normal dog now, because in 2012, this was changed entirely. Used to be a much more spooky looking temple guardian. So we attack. And we win. Good job, us. Good job, us. And we'll go report our victory over the dog down there. We're very helpful. We are very helpful. Knock on the door again. Knock, knock. Your voice from inside. You again? What do you want now? I killed that dog for you. Really? Hey, that's great. Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. What's so funny? Nothing, buddy. We're just so grateful to you. Yeah, maybe you should tell the king what a great job you did, buddy. Yep, sounds like a plan to me. We found Drezel. Helped him out with a dog problem he was having. I'd say that finishes everything. So, back to the king to report our complete success here. We're just doing great. Is King still in here? Where's he at now? There he is. He was in the corner. Talk about Priest in Peril. Well, hello there. What do you want? You have news of Dressel for me? Yeah, I spoke to the guys at the temple, and they said they were being bothered by that dog in the crypt, so I went and killed it for them, no problem. You did what? Are you mentally deficient? That guard dog was protecting the holy well of the River Salve. Without the dog, we could be in severe peril of attack. Did I make a mistake? Yes, you did. You need to get there right now and find out what is happening, before it is too late for us all. But Dressel told me to. No, you absolute cretin. Obviously, some fiend has done something to Dressel and tricked your feeble intellect into helping them kill the guard dog. You get back there and do whatever is necessary to safeguard my kingdom from attack, or I will see you beheaded for high treason. Yes, your highness. Wow, who could have ever guessed? Just doing whatever anyone tells me when they don't even know their name. And it's multiple people when we were sent to go talk to one person, and they don't let us inside. How would this ever have backfired for us? My goodness. My goodness. Classic trying to go do something, messing everything up. And then, going back to fix the problem that we caused, we are an adventurer, for sure. A bit of a hero, champion, legend, but mostly an adventurer. We adventure, we do things. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it works out. So back to the temple. Nothing in here to look at. Got some bats and some trees and nothing else. Always wild how many things we run past that don't exist yet. Anyways, open the door here, and we find monks of Zamorak have not only taken over, but also desecrated the altar, smashed some stuff, put down symbols. It's all quite a mess. What we need to do is find Dressel and see if we can actually solve some problems here. We got a Mauritania coffin, Zero and Stars decoration, neat. And here's Dressel. The door is securely locked shut. Hello. Oh, you do not appear to be one of those Zamorakians who imprisoned me here. Who are you, and why are you here? My name's Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. King Rold sent me to find out what was going on at the temple. I take it you are Dressel. That is right. Oh, praise be to Saradomin. All is not yet lost. I feared that when those Zamorakians attacked this place and imprisoned me up here, Misselin would be doomed. If they should manage to desecrate the Holy River Salve, would be defenseless against Mauritania. How is a river a good defense, then? Well, it's a long tale, and I'm not sure we have time. Tell me anyway. I'd like to know the full facts before acting any further. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Ah, Saradomin has granted you wisdom, I see. Well, the story of the River Salve, and of how it protects Misselin, is the story of this temple, and of the 7 warrior priests who died here long ago, from whom I am descended. Once long ago, Misselin did not have the borders that it currently does. This entire area, as far west as Varrock itself, was under control of an evil god. There was frequent skirmishing along the borders, as the brave heroes of Varrock fought to keep the evil creatures that now are trapped on the eastern side of the River Salve from overrunning the human encampments who worshipped Saradomin. Then, one day, Saradomin himself appeared to one of our mighty heroes, whose name has been forgotten by history, and told him that should we be able to take the pass that this temple now stands in, Saradomin would use his power to bless this river and make it impassable to all creatures with evil in their hearts. This unknown hero grouped together all of the mightiest fighters whose hearts were pure that he could find, and the 7 of them rode here to make a final stand. The enemies swarmed across the Salve, but they did not yield. For 10 days and nights they fought, never sleeping, never eating, fueled by their desire to make the world a better place for humans to live. On the 11th day, they were to be joined by reinforcements from a neighboring encampment. When those reinforcements arrived, all they found were the bodies of these 7 brave yet unknown heroes, surrounded by the piles of the dead creatures of evil that had tried to defeat them. The men were saddened at the loss of such pure and mighty warriors, yet their sacrifice had not been in vain, for the water of the Salve had indeed been filled with the power of Saradomin, and the evil creatures of Mauritania were trapped beyond the riverbanks forever by their own evil. In memory of this brave sacrifice, my ancestors built this temple, so that the land would always be free of the evil creatures who wished to destroy it, and laid the bodies of those brave warriors in tombs of honor below this temple, with golden gifts on the tombs as marks of respect. They also built a statue on the river source, so that all who might try and cross into Mistlin from Mauritania would know that these lands are protected by the glory of Saradomin, and that good will always defeat evil, no matter how the odds are stacked against them. Okay, I can see how the river protects the border, but I can't see how anything could affect that from this temple. Well, as much as it saddens me to say so, adventurer, Lord Saradomin's presence has not been felt on this land for many years now, and even though all true Saradominists know that he watches over us, his power upon the land is not as strong as it once was. I fear that should these Zamorakians somehow pollute the Salve and desecrate his blessing, his power might not be able to stop the army of evil that lurks to the east, longing for the opportunity to invade and destroy us all. So, what do you say, adventurer? Will you aid me and all of Mistlin in foiling this Zamorakian plot? Yeah. Yes, of course. Any threat to Mistlin must be neutralized immediately. So, what can I do to help? Well, the immediate problem is that I am trapped in this cell. I know that the key to free me is nearby, for none of the Zamorakians who imprisoned me here were ever gone for long periods of time. Should you find the key, however, as you may have noticed, there is a vampire in the coffin over there. I do not know how they managed to find it, but it is one of the ones that somehow survived the battle here all those years ago, and is by now quite mad. It's been trapped on this side of the river for centuries. And as those fiendish Zamorakians pointed out to me with delight, as a descendant of one of those who trapped it here, it will recognize the smell of my blood should I come anywhere near it. It will, of course, then wake up and kill me, very probably, slowly, and painfully. Maybe I could kill it somehow while it sleeps? No, adventurer, I do not think it would be wise for you to wake it at all. As I say, it is little more than a wild animal, and must be extremely powerful to have survived until today. I suspect your best chance would be to incapacitate it somehow. How about some garlic? Interesting, but I fear that garlic would be too weak. Perhaps you could use the salve itself to hold him at bay. Okay, got it. Find the key to your cell, and do something about the vampire. When you've done both of those, I will be able to inspect the damage which those Zamorakians have done to the purity of the salve. Depending on the severity of the damage, I may require further assistance from you in restoring its purity. Okay, well, first things first, let's get you out of here. If we inspect the coffin here, sounds like there's something alive inside. I don't think it would be a very good idea to open it. Yeah, there's a mad vampire in there. That's not what we need right now. Monks of Zamorak. They have the key. They are magic enemies, which is not great for us. But they're also only like level 23. So I think we'll be able to manage. We had a decent amount of health there. That's something. Here's a golden key. Neat. Replica key made of solid gold. Use golden key on the cell door. Key is a similar size to the lock, but does not fit. So not quite the correct key. Just a golden key. Not the key we need. So we need to go check out what the Zamarakians were up to down in the mausoleum past the guard dog, which we killed. In the mausoleum, where the guard dog is gone. Open the gate and into the middle here, where we've got 7 monuments and a well. You look down the well and see the filthy, polluted water of the River Salve moving slowly along. Not good. Fill a bucket of murky water from the well. When you look at these monuments here, Sardoman is the spark that lights the fire in our hearts. Got a golden tinderbox. Sardoman is the key that unlocks the mysteries of life. We have a not golden key. Switch it out. And we grab an iron key. We also have a golden candlestick. Sardoman is the light that shines throughout our lives. A feather. Sardoman is the delicate touch that brushes us with love. A pot. Sardoman is the vessel that keeps us safe from harm. A needle. Sardoman is the needle that binds our lives together. And lastly, a golden hammer. Sardoman is the hammer that crushes evil everywhere. So, nice little monuments here to the fallen priests. But now we have the correct key. Just looking around, you can find stuff. That works out. Back out here. Also very convenient that the monks of Zamorak unlocked the door so we could get in here. Well, I guess they need to go and desecrate the salve and all that. They just locked the door behind them. We wouldn't even been able to get in here. Alright. So we got the key. We unlocked the cell door. Oh, thank you. You found the key. Very good. And now we can come in here and talk. The key fitted the lock. You're free to leave now. Well, excellent work, adventurer. Unfortunately, as you know, I cannot risk waking that vampire in the coffin. I have some water from the salve. Seems to have been desecrated, though. You think you could bless it for me? Yes, good thinking, adventurer. Give it to me, I will bless it. The priest blesses the water for you. You have a bucket of blessed water. Just gonna pour that on here. Whoosh. Pour the blessed water on the coffin. And there you go. With any luck, that'll be enough. The whole point of the river salve is that evil can't pass the water. So if I put water on top, maybe it'll work. I poured the blessed water over the vampire's coffin. I think that should trap him in there long enough for you to escape. Excellent work, adventurer. I'm free at last. Let me ensure that evil vampire is trapped for good. I'll meet you down by the monument. Look for me down there. I need to assess what damage has been done to our holy barrier by those evil Zamarakians. Alright. We're just going to head on ahead and just hope that the water there stops the vampire. Not going to escort Drizzle or anything. He's probably fine. He's probably fine. And back down to the monuments and well and all that. Where somehow Drizzle has gotten here before us. He might have a secret tunnel or something. We kind of defeat the purpose of the guard dog, but either way. Hey, Drizzle. Ah, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. I see you finally made it down here. Things are worse than I feared. I'm not sure I will be able to repair the damage. Why? What happened? From what I can tell, after you killed the guard dog, who protected the entrance to the monuments, those Zamarakians forced the door into the main chamber, and have used some kind of evil potion upon the well, which leads to the source of the river, Salve. As they have done this at the very source of the river, it will spread along the entire river, disrupting the blessing placed upon it, allowing the evil creatures of Mauritania to invade at their leisure. What can we do to prevent that? Well, I've placed a holy barrier on the entrance that leads to Mauritania, but it is not very powerful and requires me to remain here, focusing upon it to keep it intact. The creatures on the other side have already sensed a weakness, and a ghoul crept in while I was setting the barrier. Be careful if you go near it. They are vicious creatures. I temporarily detained it in the room next to this one. What we need to do is find some kind of way of removing or counteracting the evil magic that has been put into the river source at the well, so the river will flow pure once again. Couldn't you bless the river to purify it, like you did with the water I took from the well? No, that would not work. The power I have from Saradomin is not great enough to cleanse an entire river of this foul Zamarakian pollutant. I have only one idea how we could possibly cleanse the river. Well, what's that? Mages have an ore called Rune Essence that absorbs magic and allows them to create runes. Should you be able to collect enough of this Rune Essence, it is possible that it will soak up the evil potion that has been poured into the river and purify it. Kind of like a filter? Okay, I guess it's worth a try. How many should I get? Well, I have no knowledge of these ores other than speculation and gossip. But if the things I hear are true, around 50 should be sufficient for the task. Alright. Dr. Drizzle, I brought you some Rune Essence. Quickly, give it to me. We give the essence. The bit about the ghoul sneaking in is not original. That was also added in the 2012 change that changed the Temple Guardian to Cerberus, and also made this entire quest kind of skippable, which is interesting. Previously to that change, you actually needed to complete this quest in order to get over to Mauritania. But after that, you just need to go kill that ghoul, and you are free to go, which is kind of wild. We're going to be finishing the quest anyways, though, so not a huge deal. And then, as we saw from the gate that didn't exist anymore, this entire area became free-to-play in 2017, which is also something. Not the biggest changes at all. There's also a handful of quality of life improvements. But either way, we just need to get more essence here. Rune essence, pure essence. Essentially the same thing here. And run back to the temple again. Having the Varrock teleports, pretty nice. Another thing that would have made this simpler is if we had like 25 inventory spaces free, but we don't, and that's okay. trying to minimize the amount of trips you need to take back and forth to either the bank in Varrock or the essence mine there. We're doing just fine. Would have needed to take a third trip with regular rune essence here, based on the inventory space we have. But teleporting to Varrock and running back is not very noteworthy. Brought you some more essences. Quickly, give them to me. Excellent. That should do it. I'll bless these stones and place them within the well, and Miss Lynn should be protected once more. Please take this dagger. It has been handed down within my family for generations and is filled with the power of Saradomin. You will find that it has power to prevent werewolves from adopting their wolf form in combat, as long as you have it equipped. And that is quest complete. 1 quest point, 1406 prayer experience, now in convenient lamp form, I guess. The Wolfbane dagger, and kudos at the museum, once that's a thing. Very good. So, can I pass through that barrier now? Ah, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. For all the assistance you have given both myself and Miss Lynn in your actions, I cannot let you pass without warning you. Mauritania is an evil land, filled with creatures and monsters more terrifying than any you have yet encountered. Although I will pray for you, you should take some basic precautions before heading over the salve into it. The first place you will come across is the werewolf trading post. In many ways, werewolves are like you and me, except never forget that they are evil, vicious beasts at heart. The dagger I have given you is named Wolfbane, and is a holy relic that prevents werewolf people from changing form. I suggest if you battle with them, that you keep it always equipped, for their wolf form is incredibly powerful. It would savage you very quickly. Please, adventurer, promise me this. I should hate for you to die foolishly. Okay, I'll keep it equipped whenever I fight werewolves. There you go. And the 2012 ghoul is still here. I should clean that up. Hey, stop. Get out of here. And problem solved. Ghouls also don't exist yet. And this one especially doesn't exist yet. We can pass through the holy barrier. Mauritania is dangerous, and death is more than a possibility. You may encounter werewolves, so be sure to have your Wolfbane dagger equipped. Do you want pristine? Yep. You pass through the holy barrier. Let's equip the Wolfbane dagger. It's terrible, but it stops werewolves. Get our prayer experience. There you go. Pretty close to the next prayer level here. And head into Mauritania. There's not very much in Mauritania yet. In fact, there's only one thing in Mauritania yet, and that is Canifis, where we've got a few interesting things. Down to the south here, we've got the Hair of Dog Tavern, where you can get various drinks. Mostly a moonlight mead, but not too helpful. We've got the bank, which we obviously can't use. Rufus's Meat Emporium, which is pretty cool. Talk to Rufus. Hi. Greetings, friend. Welcome to my world-famous food emporium. All my meats are so fresh, you'd swear you killed them yourself. Can I buy some food? Certainly. And here is the meat shop. He used to stock fish as well, including a raw shark, which would have been very convenient. Luckily, we've already done all the fishing we need to get our own raw sharks. So, at the point where that would have been a problem, which is honestly coming up pretty soon here, we've already got that taken care of. Also sells a bit of other meat here. Nothing super exciting. The raw shark was definitely the most interesting part. No longer exists, though. And not a problem. We've got Barker. They've got an interesting selection of robes, which are just purely cosmetic. Get yourself some colorful gloves. Go trade those on free-to-play servers for ultimate fashion. Nothing we need here, though. We've got gloves that actually have a little bit of stats, boots that make us way less, and the RuneScape is actually quite good. And despite looking like robes, they're not actually magical at all, so not actually super helpful. And then we have Spot's expensive tannery here, where you can tan hides for like twice the cost of Alcarid. Not super helpful for us, especially since it's very far away from things. And we can't even use banks, so not super good. And lastly in town here, we got a general store, which also sells needle and thread. So, there you go. Just a regular old general store, plus a tiny bit of a crafting store. Nothing super crazy. And that is the only thing in Mortania. Because we can attack some werewolves with our dagger here. They stay in human form when we have the dagger on. Stay level 28. And that was a achievement, apparently. If we go at them with the axe, though, they become werewolves. And become level 63. Still not super strong, especially since we are level 91 combat. So, that's okay. Anyways, Mauritania. At least the tiniest portion of it now exists. And that's great. We can destroy Wolfbane Dagger. Can always get this back from Drezel. I'll be fine. They would have taken all of this extra pure essence from us anyways. We'll just get rid of all that. Drop, 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 drop. And a bucket. And pickaxe we can always get back. We'll keep the runes for teleporting to Varrock, though. That'll be very convenient for getting out of here without having to run all the way back. So, that's good. So, there we go. Another quest complete. And we will be continuing on to the next quest, which is actually also out here in Mauritania. Next time. Goodbye.